Will your job exist in 10 years? Will our grandchildren inherit empty urban wastelands, abandoned after automation made city jobs obsolete? Or will they inhabit hyper-efficient metropolises where humans focus on creativity while robots handle the routine? What happens when the jobs that have historically drawn millions to cities simply vanish? If you live in a city, these questions might keep you up at night. As AI and robots master everything from driving taxis to diagnosing diseases, the urban employment landscape is shifting beneath our feet. But while headlines scream about job losses, they're missing something crucial: the extraordinary capacity of cities to reinvent themselves. But the answer depends on decisions being made right now in boardrooms, laboratories, and government offices around the world. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how automation will reshape urban employment, whether automation will destroy our urban centers, which city jobs will disappear first, what most forecasters aren't telling you, and most importantly, how you can position yourself to thrive in the changing urban landscape. In Tokyo, cashier positions at convenience stores dropped by 42% between 2019 and 2022, with 300,000 retail jobs disappearing. Self-checkout kiosks and mobile payment systems now handle transactions that once required human staff. London Underground stations removed nearly 5,000 ticketing and customer service roles after introducing contactless payment technology. Detroit shows what happens when cities don't adapt to technological change. The automotive industry lost 35% of its assembly line jobs to robotics between 2000 and 2015, but the metro area failed to develop alternative employment sectors. Contrary to popular belief, white-collar jobs aren't immune. Bangalore's IT outsourcing firms automated 25% of routine coding and data processing tasks last year using AI tools that write basic scripts and clean data sets. McKinsey's 2023 Urban Workforce Index reveals administrative support roles have a 78% automation potential, higher than construction or healthcare positions. These aren't isolated cases. They reveal a global pattern where automation reaches critical mass in dense urban areas first. Demand for taxi drivers in New York dropped 18% after ride-hailing apps introduced pooled autonomous vehicles in some boroughs. Yet warehouse districts outside those same cities now employ more technicians maintaining sorting robots than traditional forklift operators. The displacement happens fastest in roles with repetitive physical tasks: cash handling, ticket validation, basic customer inquiries. But it spreads further. When supermarkets automate checkout lanes, they need fewer security guards and inventory staff too. Transportation faces particularly rapid transformation. Singapore's metro system will eliminate all station agent positions by 2026 through AI-powered assistance kiosks. Delivery drivers in Seoul now compete with autonomous trucks permitted to operate in dedicated urban freight lanes after dark. What makes these cases significant isn't just the job losses, but how cities are handling or mishandling the transition. Barcelona maintains higher employment in automated sectors by requiring companies to fund 6-month retraining programs for displaced workers, while Houston offers no such protections for its disappearing oilfield administrative roles. The common factor across all disappearing urban jobs: predictability. Machines excel at standardized processes, scanning barcodes, following transit schedules, processing identical service requests. A Tokyo convenience store that installed self-service systems saw 32% fewer staffing hours while increasing sales, proving automation's brutal efficiency math to corporate planners. Office towers now use AI receptionists that handle 90% of visitor check-ins without human involvement. Even in emerging economies like Jakarta, mall security contracts increasingly specify facial recognition systems over night watchmen. Retail, transportation support roles, and routine office administration currently face the highest risk. But this wave differs from past industrial revolutions in its speed and specificity. When Detroit's auto plants automated welding, workers had years to adapt. Today's urban job losses can happen within a single lease cycle. A shopping mall replaces its food court staff with vending kitchens between Thanksgiving and New Year's. The cities coping best treat automation like weather patterns, inevitable but something you can prepare for. Rotterdam guarantees municipal workers affected by technology shifts first dibs on retraining for the city's offshore wind projects. This raises the critical question: why do some cities manage this transition while others unravel? The difference lies in who controls the automation timeline. In cities where companies focus solely on cutting costs, the rate of displacement often outstrips the development of solutions. But urban centers coordinating between universities, employers, and worker groups create alternative pathways. Nuremberg's manufacturing sector actually grew jobs after automation by pivoting workers into robot maintenance and precision tooling roles that the machines couldn't handle. The pattern suggests automation eliminates tasks more than entire careers if cities help workers reposition themselves. The next frontier, already emerging in Denver and Manchester, involves predictive workforce analytics. Municipal dashboards now track which zip codes face the highest risk of job losses from planned automation projects, allowing targeted interventions before unemployment spikes. This marks a shift from reactive to proactive policymaking, though such programs remain exceptions rather than standards. As the pace accelerates, the window for orderly transitions narrows. Cities lagging in preparation face Detroit-style collapses, while those adapting their workforce development systems could emerge stronger. The technology itself isn't the determining factor. It's whether urban systems leverage automation to augment human labor rather than simply replacing it. When Seoul replaced human subway ticket sellers with automated machines, approximately 15,000 workers lost their jobs. Many supported families on those wages. Within months, areas near subway stations saw rising evictions and shuttered storefronts that depended on commuter foot traffic. This pattern repeats globally. Chicago's downtown lost 28% of its lunchtime retail businesses when office clerical jobs were automated and workers stopped leaving their buildings. In Mumbai's Dharavi neighborhood, textile automation pushed unemployment to 19%, correlating with a 41% increase in reported depression cases at local clinics. Urban planners often measure automation's impact in cost savings and efficiency gains, not human consequences. After Berlin introduced self-service electric scooter rentals, 3,200 parking attendants and rental agents became unemployed. City budgets saved 18 million euros annually, but social services saw a 23 million euro increase in housing assistance requests from the same districts the next year. Milwaukee tracked similar patterns when grocery stores automated checkout lanes. The zip codes with the most job losses showed a 14% increase in food stamp usage, while surrounding neighborhoods remained stable. The housing market reflects these shifts most visibly. Toronto condominiums near automated banking centers dropped 11% in value as tellers and support staff moved to cheaper suburbs. Conversely, Lisbon districts with strong upskilling programs maintained stable rents even after local call centers implemented AI answering systems. The difference comes down to replacement income sources. Cities that don't prepare workers for transitions see poverty spikes. Detroit's urban core lost 37% of its middle-income households between 2010 and 2020, directly tied to automotive plant automation without retraining programs. Mental health systems strain under these changes. Osaka recorded a 22% rise in suicide rates among men aged 45 to 54 after department store layoffs from automation. New York City's 311 hotline logged a 40% increase in economic anxiety calls from neighborhoods where parking meters converted to cashless systems. The stress compounds when multiple automated sectors cluster geographically. Bangalore's tech district now has the highest antidepressant prescription rate in India following simultaneous layoffs across IT support, cafeteria services, and office maintenance roles. Some cities demonstrate better approaches. Copenhagen's Skills for Tomorrow initiative retrains service workers in building energy optimization, a field requiring human oversight of automated systems. Their 73% placement rate comes from partnering with employers to create roles before jobs disappear. Vienna takes a preventative approach, requiring companies installing automation tech to fund 6 months of preemptive training for affected staff. These programs cost 60% less per person than unemployment benefits would over the same period. Local businesses suffer collateral damage. Philadelphia corner stores near automated warehouses reported 18% fewer customers as truck drivers and loaders lost purchasing power. Conversely, Hamburg cafes near robotics training centers saw afternoon sales triple from students and instructors. The economic difference comes from whether automation simply eliminates jobs or transitions workers into new positions. Boston's Seaport District actually gained retail jobs after AI accounting firms moved in, because the new white-collar workers supported more restaurants and shops than the displaced bookkeepers had. The most effective programs share 3 features. They start before layoffs happen, They focus on adjacent skills rather than completely new fields, and they partner with local employers. Rotterdam's dock worker retraining for offshore wind maintenance had an 81% success rate because it built on existing mechanical knowledge. Programs failing this test, like Rome's attempt to turn museum guards into app developers, achieve under 30% employment outcomes. The timeline matters too. Workers who start retraining 6 months before job loss perform 40% better in new roles than those who wait until after layoffs. Cities that track automation risks can target interventions. Amsterdam's Labor Department now gets quarterly reports from tech firms about upcoming system changes that might reduce staffing needs. This allowed them to place 88% of affected retail cashiers in logistics monitoring roles before their jobs disappeared. Comparable cities without this early warning system averaged only 34% placement rates. The data shows automation doesn't have to create crises. Managed carefully, it can transition workers into more sustainable roles. But without preparation, the human costs spiral through housing, health, and local economies in predictable but preventable ways. The solution exists at the intersection of policy and individual action. A bike courier in Berlin recently switched to maintaining the city's new fleet of delivery drones. He now earns 30% more troubleshooting navigation systems than he did pedaling through traffic. This kind of pivot will define urban careers in the automation era. Traditional job trajectories like moving up from cashier to store manager or from data entry to analyst won't work when entire roles keep vanishing. The new urban workforce thrives in hybrid positions that combine technology oversight with human judgment. LinkedIn's 2023 Emerging Jobs report shows urban areas now demand roles like smart mobility planners, who design integrated transport networks mixing autonomous vehicles with bike lanes and smart traffic systems. These positions require both traffic modeling skills and an understanding of neighborhood foot traffic patterns. Similarly, energy efficiency specialists analyze grid data to optimize solar and battery storage, but they also negotiate with building owners to implement changes. The fastest growing urban jobs share a pattern. They use technology to solve problems while relying on human skills that no algorithm can replicate. The challenge is access. Only 12% of displaced retail and clerical workers in major U.S. cities enroll in retraining programs within 6 months of job loss. Singapore tackles this through Skills Future credits, government funds that workers can use for courses in automation-related fields. A former subway station attendant there retrained as a public transport data analyst, monitoring AI scheduling systems for anomalies. Cities with strong vocational education systems like Munich see higher transition rates. Their programs focus on adjacent skills. Warehouse pickers learn inventory drone maintenance, not unrelated coding boot camps. Resilience coordinators exemplify the new urban skill set. Cities now hire these professionals to prepare for disruptions like extreme weather or cyber attacks. The job blends risk assessment and data analysis with crisis communication, skills that machines can't combine dynamically. Community engagement specialists also prove irreplaceable. They run workshops explaining smart city tech to elderly residents or coordinate feedback on automated waste collection systems. Emotional intelligence matters here. A Barcelona program hiring former cashiers as tech mediators in public offices reduced citizen complaints about automation by 40%.
The winning formula involves 3 adaptable skills: interpreting automated systems, solving unstructured problems, and bridging tech-human gaps. In Chicago, ex-taxi drivers now work as mobility aides, helping passengers pair wheelchairs with autonomous transit vehicles. Toronto retrains office administrators as workflow analysts, configuring AI tools for companies while ensuring compliance with labor standards. These roles pay better than the jobs they replace because they handle exceptions, the cases where algorithms fail.
Workers can prepare now. Free resources like New York's Urban Tech certification teach basics in IoT device management and data visualization. Copenhagen offers night classes in building automation systems tailored for service sector workers. The key is targeting skills that complement machines rather than competing with them. A Seoul program teaching baristas to operate and maintain automated coffee machines saw participants' wages rise 22%. Soft skills now carry measurable economic value. Manila call center agents who trained in complex complaint resolution, a task AI still handles poorly, saw 30% less job displacement than their peers. Emotional intelligence training in London's retail sector reduced layoffs by allowing workers to shift into high-touch customer service roles. Advising on purchases, AI recommends. Systems thinking matters too. Berlin pays former bus drivers to consult on autonomous route planning because they understand passenger behavior algorithms miss. Personal initiative accelerates transitions. A Detroit auto worker taught himself CAD software using library computers, then landed a job modifying robotic assembly designs. Others volunteer with smart city test projects like optimizing delivery drone routes to gain experience. The urban workforce of the next decade will split between those who wait for disruption and those treating automation as a toolkit rather than a threat. Cities investing in ladder programs, connecting basic digital literacy courses to specialized certifications, see workers adapt faster. Rotterdam's dock worker to wind turbine retraining succeeds because it maps each skill step incrementally.
Yet individual effort only goes so far without systemic support. Vienna's policy requiring employers to sponsor preemptive training for roles facing automation shows better outcomes than scrambling after layoffs. The cities thriving in this transition don't resist technology, they rewire their labor ecosystems to harness it. Workers who thrive will be those who learn to direct machines rather than compete with them. The best opportunities lie at the intersection of technical literacy and distinctly human judgment, the space where robots still need supervisors.
Amsterdam's city government built a digital twin, an AI-powered virtual model of the entire metro area that simulates traffic, energy use, and even pedestrian movement. This project didn't just replace jobs. It created 8,000 new positions for data interpreters, simulation analysts, and neighborhood liaison roles to implement findings. The team includes former parking enforcement officers who now identify high congestion zones using AI predictions, then redesign street layouts. This reveals automation's overlooked potential. It can generate more complex, better paid work than it eliminates when cities intentionally design for augmentation over pure efficiency. Barcelona proves this model scales. Their municipal data cooperative trains residents to collect and analyze neighborhood airflow, noise pollution, and foot traffic patterns using city-provided sensors. Over 600 participants, many former retail and clerical workers, now work as citizen data stewards, earning salaries to clean data sets and flag anomalies the AI systems miss. The cooperative structure ensures profits from the data's use fund local services instead of corporate shareholders. MIT's 2023 study on the project found these roles require human judgment to verify automated data collection, particularly for nuanced quality of life metrics that algorithms struggle to assess.
The most resilient urban jobs emerging share a critical trait. They position humans as overseers of AI systems rather than competitors. Seoul now employs algorithm bias auditors to evaluate whether public service recommendation engines disadvantage elderly residents. These roles combine technical skills to analyze AI decision logs with ethnographic training to interview affected communities. Similarly, Hamburg's energy utility created 200 green transition coordinators who use AI consumption forecasts but negotiate individualized electrification plans with homeowners, a task demanding emotional intelligence and cultural awareness that machines lack.
Infrastructure maintenance shows how this plays out practically. Toronto's water department cut pipe inspection costs by 40% using autonomous drones, then reinvested the savings to hire system resiliency coordinators. These workers analyze drone footage for subtle corrosion patterns algorithms might miss, then prioritize repairs based on neighborhood vulnerability factors like population density and income levels, contextual decisions AI can't yet replicate. The department now employs 15% more staff than before automation, but with higher salaries and specialized roles. 3 unexpected professions exemplify this shift. Urban AI managers now oversee municipal algorithm deployments in over 20 European cities, ensuring tools like predictive policing or waste collection routing align with community values. Ethical sourcing specialists help corporations audit automated supply chains for labor violations, a hybrid role requiring both supply chain logistics knowledge and human rights expertise. Community tech mediators, like those in Barcelona's immigrant neighborhoods, translate smart city initiatives for residents while feeding local needs back into system designs. The economic impact is measurable. Copenhagen firms using AI-assisted design tools increased architect employment by 12%. The technology handled routine drafting while humans focused on client customization and regulatory innovation. Berlin's adoption of automated construction equipment coincided with a 9% rise in skilled technician roles overseeing the machinery. Contrast this with purely cost-driven automation. When Paris supermarkets replaced cashiers without creating new service positions, local spending power dropped enough to shutter 7 nearby businesses within a year. Cities adopting augmentation-first policies see faster economic recovery from job displacement. Oslo requires municipal AI vendors to submit workforce transition plans, showing how their tools will create equal or greater employment in higher value roles. Rotterdam pairs automation rollouts with upskilling guarantees, offering displaced workers first access to newly created technical positions. These approaches recognize that urban job stability now depends on integrating human judgment with machine efficiency, not resisting technological change.
The lesson from leading cities is clear. Automation devastates urban labor markets only when implemented solely for cost reduction. When treated as a tool to supplement human capabilities, handling repetitive tasks while creating space for complex, adaptive work, it can rebuild the middle-class job base that keeps cities functioning. The emerging professions share a DNA. They solve problems where standardized data meets unpredictable human needs. This demands policy frameworks that incentivize job creation alongside efficiency gains, plus education systems nimble enough to prepare workers for hybrid roles that leverage both technical and interpersonal skills in equal measure.
By 2030, 65% of urban jobs will be roles we don't recognize today. Cities clinging to outdated positions will struggle, while those retraining workers will thrive. The change isn't a distant possibility, it's relating now in automated transit systems, AI-managed stores, and algorithm-assisted offices. Once stable jobs are disappearing, but new opportunities are emerging where humans and technology collaborate. Start developing one future-ready skill this month, whether basic coding, data analysis, or system troubleshooting. These competencies apply across industries as automation reshapes work. Your adaptability affects not just your career, but your city's economic resilience. Which vanishing job surprised you most? Share your experience below and stay tuned for our next video about how cities manage their waste.